can look quick and see and tell. I don't have to. I don't have to stare to see whether it looks alright or not.
Okay. You have big eyeballs. Oh my goodness. Hi everyone, it's NonnaGrace, and I was from Western. I'm from not I was. I'm from Western New York, and I've always been from Western New York. Today, when I went to church, the priest told a joke, and I told Jim I would tell the joke during the video because he will get the reaction will be a lot better than if he heard it first and then he has to hear it again. So what he did is there was two guys, and one guy was named James, believe it or not.
Yeah, good name.
It was. Anyways, he said to the guy, they were about the same age, he says, James, you know, you're about my age.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling really old lately. Real old.
Real old.
Yes, real old.
I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
You're not? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Well, that guy said he was feeling like he was like a baby.
Well, I feel not quite a baby, but maybe a teenager.
Well, he felt like a baby because he had no hair, no teeth, and he thinks he just wet himself. Yeah, that's why he was. I didn't tell it as good as the priest did. I don't tell any jokes like they do. But it was, the gist of it was there.
Yeah.
And you played along pretty good. He had no clue what I was going to talk about or going to say. Well, today I told you I would talk about how I lost the 20 pounds that I've been trying to lose since February or before, when I was doing all that walking around the daycare, is when I actually started. But what really got me to really lose the weight was when I had the shingles, believe it or not. That was a blessing in disguise. I had lost my appetite completely when I had the shingles. And so when I started eating again, I was eating very little. I would eat like one slice of bread with maybe 5 or 6 pieces of pepperoni in it, or one piece of bread with cheese and pepperoni in it. But I ate one slice of bread, and I was really full. And then when we'd go out to lunch with the camping people, I used to find that I was full after eating half of the meal, whereas before I could eat the whole thing and then still want more. My stomach had shrunk for wanting to eat. So I decided I would just continue that. So that's how I've been doing it. But I've been eating everything that I like. I've been eating even potato chips. I know. Some of you couldn't eat the potato. I make the potato chips last a few days at least. I don't eat the whole bag in one shot. I want it to last because I know I won't be getting another one for a while. And I've been eating some of those little cheese curls. I like them now that they're stale. I like stale food better than fresh food, I guess.
Some foods.
Some foods I do. I like them stale. Crackers, I like them fresh. I like them to have a good crunch. And when I would have a cracker, it would be a Ritz cracker, and I'd count out 3. I would eat 3 of those. That's all I wanted, was just enough to say I had the cracker. And I would eat apples, 1 apple, but I would always salt it with salt because it makes it taste better with salt. Salt, it brings out the sweetness of the apple, and I can taste salt, and I can taste the sweet, and I can feel the crunch of the apple. And I would eat oranges, but I would also eat those with salt and pepper because, again, I like the salt, and it makes the orange sweeter. And you can put olive oil on it too if you want. I sometimes put olive oil on it, and sometimes I didn't. Depends on the day, what I felt like. And I try to keep my carbs about 100 or less. Most people will try to keep their carbs under 20. Well, I found that didn't work for me. I eat chicken better than I eat beef. Beef is not as good for me as chicken. But pasta, I eat pasta just about every single day. And I'm eating it lately with my hot peppers, and I like ketchup on it, believe it or not. I didn't have ketchup today. Today I cooked 10 little tomatoes, of the cherry tomatoes. I cooked and put it with the pasta, and I put 2 hot peppers with the pasta. And I put a little bit of grated cheese on it. So if you want to lose a little weight, you have to actually just cut down what you're eating.
And exercise.
And exercise a little bit. My walking was what I did. I
Yeah.
didn't do exercise. I'm not an exerciser.
Well, any kind of movement is exercise.
When I would vacuum, I would get a lot more steps in than I did when I would just plain old walk. So if you do housework, you can get a lot more steps in. I found that when I was down in South Padre Island, it was real easy to get my walking done. It was very entertaining to me, too. It was very warm for most people. I actually wore my sweater sometimes. And people, I'm sure, looked at me like I was nuts having a sweater on. And it was over 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they thought I was crazy. But I'm not crazy. I'm really not. I just like the heat. I have a couple of pictures I'm going to show you. It took me a lot to decide to do this. I actually took these pictures. So you can tell which ones are older because I have the short hair, and you can tell which ones are longer because I have a longer hair. I have the hair like now. But I took these pictures way back in February before I had the shingles. So it was actually then that I was really thinking about. I was trying to lose this weight, but it wasn't going off until I got the shingles and really found that my appetite just disappeared. So if you can cut back on what you eat, I think you would lose some weight too, because that's what I've done. And eat anything that you want, and if you want it, you better eat it, because if you don't eat it, you're going to want it, and you'll eat something else, and then you'll want whatever it was you wanted to eat, and you'll end up eating that anyways. So you might as well eat what you want right from the beginning so that you don't eat double the stuff, because you'll eat the bad stuff or the stuff you think you should eat, and then you'll eat the stuff you shouldn't have eaten but you wanted it, so you ate it. Jim's head's going like, ooh. Oh, well. So, and I also carry this little it's a measuring tape with me when I go shopping, because I really hate to shop. And what I would do is I would measure the pant.
Not only do you hate to shop, you hate to try on clothes.
I hate to try on the clothes, definitely. So what I do is I just will measure my legs. I've gotten them down to where I can actually measure out 9 inches on the pant leg. If I have it and fold it in half, I measure 9 inches, and that means it's 18 around. And waistband to the crotch. I like it to be at least 9 inches long. Yes, I forgot how I did it because I haven't done it in so long. But I did measure the legs, and my waist used to be 24, but now it's like 27. It's gotten heavier. But I like to follow also the charts of the 1950s and 60s, because people then were actually smaller than what they claim now. Now the average person is a lot heavier, like 150, 160 is the average person, which is way too heavy for me. I'm only 5 feet. And so I like to weigh, even though they'll say that 100 pounds is like underweight, they'll say you can weigh 119 or 118. That's too heavy for me. It makes me feel heavy. And even putting your socks on, you're feeling too heavy. So I like to weigh, right now, I like to weigh anything under 105 is what I like to weigh. Which to a lot of people sounds like nothing, but to me it's still heavy. Because I used to be 98 pounds forever and a day, and everything I wore was was clothes that I could wear. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to worry about my size. When we got married, I wore a size 3. They don't think they make 3s anymore. Now they make 0s and double 0s and whatever. But my 3 probably would have been a 0 at least. And I used to buy size 5 dress, and I wore a size 5 shoe. I think they don't make 5 dresses anymore. Now it's 6, and 6 and 4 are the smallest you can find, and 4 is usually too big. But that's the way it goes. People are larger today than what they were when I was growing up. And when I was in school, there was hardly anybody ever overweight. And even the ones that were overweight would be of average weight now. They wouldn't be considered overweight.
Not today's standards.
No. Well, let's go to that video and you can see what I really don't want to show you. Visuals are a way of playing a trick with your mind so that you will eat less but think you have more. This is the dish that I used to use. But now I use this dish. And look at the difference. One is a dinner plate and one is a luncheon plate. I also have changed from my spoons from the large spoon to a small spoon. This was a tablespoon and I've gone to a teaspoon. So you have to make more trips to your mouth with that size spoon. I hope you all had a great day, and if you stayed with me through this crazy chat, thank you very much. We'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.